Welcome back to Business Mathematics 1. I'm Eric from Mathematics Study Program, Faculty of Mathematics and Natural Sciences. We will discuss about derivative part 2. For a special topic, we will discuss the marginal analysis and approximation. Let's discuss the marginal analysis and approximation. Okay, yeah. Let Cx is the cost function. The cost for producing X number of units, X number of goods, X units of goods. So this is the curve cost function. X is number of goods, and Y is the cost. And this is X0. This is X0 plus 1. So this is the cost for producing X0 plus 1 item. This is the cost for producing X0 units. Okay. So, what does C prime x0 mean? C prime x0 mean? This is the slope of tangent line, this blue tangent line. Okay, yeah? What does C prime x0 mean? It means that when I step one step, it will go up by C prime x0. Okay, yeah? That's graphically, that is C prime x0 means. Okay, yeah? So what about this one? The additional cost from Cx0 plus 1 minus Cx0 is the increase of increasing production from x0 to x0 plus 1. You have noticed what is this? This is the cost for producing the x0 plus 1 unit. Okay, yeah? This is the cost, this one, this height, Cx0 plus 1 minus Cx0. This is just this height. This height is Cx0 plus 1 minus Cx0. This is the cost of the x0 plus 1 unit. Okay, yeah? And this is C prime x0. So C prime x0 is a good approximation of the marginal. We usually call this marginal, the marginal cost C prime x0. The marginal cost C prime x0 is an approximation of the cost of x0 plus 1 unit. Okay, yeah. So C prime x are the approximate additional costs of increasing production from x to x plus 1. That is approximate cost for producing the x plus 1 unit of goods. Okay, yeah, this one, yeah. This is the approximate. This is the actual cost. Actual cost, approximate. But this is a good approximation, yeah. Do a similar interpretation if you have a revenue graph and profit graph of profit function and graph of revenue function. Okay, yeah. C prime x is also called the marginal cost of producing x unit of goods. A similar name applies also for P prime x, the marginal cost for producing x unit, and R prime x, that is the marginal revenue for producing x unit of goods. Okay, yeah. So this is the example. Let Q be the number of units produced. The revenue is given by this. Denote the revenue in dollars earned by selling key units. Okay, yeah, all in units on dollar. Find the revenue of producing 11 units, actual revenue of producing the 11th unit, and the approximation of producing the 11th unit. Okay, so the revenue of producing the 11 unit, you can just substitute 11. So this is $132. And R10 is the revenue for producing 10 unit of goods is given by 100. So the actual cost for producing the 11th unit is defined by this, and this is $32. Okay, so the approximation of this is C prime 10. C prime 10. Sorry, R prime 10. R prime Q is 4Q minus 10. Okay, the derivative of this with respect to Q is 4Q minus 10. So R prime 10 is given by $30. So this $30 is approximation of producing the 11 unit. This is the actual cost. This is the approximate cost. Okay, for producing the 11th unit. Okay. Careful in the units and unit use and their change to the interpretation. Okay. Now, last we will look at the approximation. Look carefully what we do when we finding the marginal cost. Yeah, we do when plus 1 you add by c prime x0. Yeah, this one, the little one, this one. Okay. Yeah. The question is what about the additional cost for every additional half unit? This is 1 unit. What about half unit? A quarter unit? A third, 1/3 unit. Can it happen? Yes, of course. Don't forget, this is can be 100. X 100 can be 1,000 unit. So if I have this is 0.1, this is 0.1 times 100. It equals 10. Okay. This one, example of approximation. At a certain factory, the daily output is QK. Is 600K to the half unit, where K denotes the capital investment measured in units of 1,000. The current capital is $900,000. Estimate the effect that an additional capital investment of 800 will have on the daily output. Okay, yeah. So key prime k, this is the derivative of key with respect to k, is given by this. You can do this. Okay, yeah. So I can simplify this to have this. So key prime 900 is just about 10. So this means there is an additional 10 units of daily output. This is Q is quantity, daily output. So what is key prime 900 means? For 1 unit, you can have 10. 1 unit of K, you have additional, you go up by 10. Okay, so there is an additional 10 unit of daily output for every additional 1 unit of capital investment. Don't forget 1 unit, this is 1,000. So if you want to find what is the additional daily output for additional 0.8 unit, that is 800. Okay, yeah. This is for 1 unit, you have 10 unit, additional 10 unit of daily input. What about 0.8 unit? So you have 0.8 times 10, that is 8. Okay, that is 8 units. So it will increase approximately about 8 units. Okay, so we have generalized. For marginal analysis, you have to go 1 point, but in approximation, you can have any real number, not just 1. You can have a half, you can get a quarter, and so on. Okay, and this one is 0.8. Okay, the mathematical term for linear approximation discussed above is usually called differential of function. Okay, yeah. So dy is f prime x dx is the linear approximation on the graph this. Okay, so for the previous example, this means we are looking for linear approximation of change in the height of graph y equal kk, that is dq. There is a change of delta k units. Okay, yeah. Now try find for the case of marginal analysis. What does this mean? Okay, so today we have talking about marginal analysis. We have a general case of marginal analysis, that is approximation. Approximation, we usually call this differential of function. Okay, yeah, the approximate. Don't forget f prime x. What is f prime x? When I go 1, it will go up by f prime x. The derivative of f at point x. Okay, yeah, every 1 point you have go up by f prime x. Okay, yeah. What about if you don't walk 1 but you walk a half? So you have a half time f prime x. A quarter, so a quarter time f prime x. What about delta x? Delta x times f prime x. That's what we usually call here the linear approximation, the differential, yeah, approximation. A general case for marginal analysis. For marginal analysis, additional 1 unit. So this one you can have an additional half unit, additional a quarter unit, and so on. Okay, thank you very much.